Welcome. Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Friday, February 26, 2021. For today's editorial, Remembering EDSA 1986 in the Time of COVID. 35 years later, we strain to find the words and recapture the feelings so we can remember and salute the historic 4 days of February 1986, when our country and our people ousted the government of President Ferdinand Marcos and forced him to seek exile in Hawaii. It's not just the coronavirus pandemic that makes remembering so difficult now. We have experienced more than the dimming of our individual feelings and collective memory. It is also the coercioning of our hearts and the onset of cynicism toward the perfunctory commemoration of dates. In a way, the cancel culture movement that is convulsing America today and toppling down monuments and memorials seem to have migrated to our land and plunged us into a similar breach of faith. In the past, we celebrated the 4 days of February in a spirit of enthusiasm and revelry. One administration tried to turn it into a fiesta and put up a carnival on the hallowed site. Another administration tried to construct a museum to perpetuate the memory of the People Power Revolution. Not surprisingly, these modest and unimaginative projects fell flat. But it should not be so difficult, we think, to commemorate the event because the 4 days of February 1986 at EDSA is an authentic and historic time in the annals of the nation. If you Google the words People Power and EDSA on the web, you are transported in a flash to articles and photographs of the People Power Revolution, aka the EDSA Revolution. There is a quick retelling of the dramatic events in February 1986 and the significance they bear for our people and our republic. Here you find a narration of how Epifanio de los Santos Avenue or EDSA was carved forever on the nation's memory. Remember that time, of course, in individual and separate ways, each with our special memories of fellowship and loyalties shared. In a message on the 35th anniversary of the EDSA People Power Revolution, President Rodrigo Duterte on Thursday called on our people to be vigilant in protecting their rights and the country's democratic institutions. Quote, "As we contemplate the relevance of this occasion, let us proceed with renewed hope and optimism towards the realization of our shared aspirations for our nation," he said. Quote, "May this serve as a constant reminder for all of us to remain vigilant in safeguarding our democratic institutions, preserving our values, and upholding our rights as Filipinos." And then, noting how divided the nation has often seemed to be these days, he urged Filipinos to set aside their differences and work together in, quote, "building a legacy that we can proudly leave behind for future generations." For her part, Vice President Maria Leonor Robredo also sent out a message for the commemoration. She encouraged Filipinos to find the, quote, "strength, faith, and fire" to continue the work that remains to be done to fulfill the promise of the historic uprising. "The challenge now is this," she said. "We must find within ourselves that strength, that faith, that fire to continue the work that remains to be done. And in doing so, we must find a way to walk forward together." The Manila Times has its own reason for remembering February 1986 fervently and fondly. That was a time when the Times resumed publication as a daily newspaper and as the oldest in the country. Our despondency during the current pandemic does not dispose us, of course, to celebrate EDSA Day as we did in the past. The good in our people still operates even if the bad commands our attention now. Some think the passing of people power into obsolescence is only fitting because of the pretensions to revolution and the attempt by some to enthrone EDSA as a miracle. EDSA does not have to be a miracle to claim a place of honor in the nation's memory and in the hearts of our countrymen. It is enough that February 1986 happened. And that's the editorial for February 26, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And listen to the Voice of the Times.